Hey everybody, it's Lebo with Lebo's Pinball. You may be wondering where have I been because it's been like, I don't know, at least a couple months since the last time I posted a video. So for some of my viewers that like to check things out on a frequent basis, sorry it's been a little bit. Been fairly busy working on a basement project. I might show that to you here a little bit, maybe a little bit later. We'll see, but trying to finish things off so that I can have a better place for my pins and just a better entertainment area down here in the basement. Meanwhile, haven't really had any other pinball projects that I was working on during that time, at least working on the basement. However, this game, Card Trix, has popped up, and hopefully that this is going to be kind of a quick job. But this is a 1970 Gottlieb Card Trix. Did I say 1970? Yeah. And it is a wedge head. You gotta love those wedge heads.
I love those redheads, man. I know you.
Wedge heads, wedge heads. It's a great game. They're all single player games that are wedge heads. They're, as far as EMs are concerned, I feel like they're of the simpler ones. There's just something about them. I just like them. They're really great games, and this one is certainly a great example of that. The owner of this game has had a few problems with it, but this has been really in their family for quite a while, and really just kind of wanted me to go through and fix some of the issues that he had. But while we're at it, we're also going to kind of watch for other little small things and kind of deal with it, clean it up a little bit too. But it's a great example. I know for one thing, we're going to need to redo the flippers. It's going to need a flipper rebuild. The owner was saying that the right flipper is kind of weak, and he'd already replaced the coils. Actually had bumped up from the 51, was it 5141, the standards to the orange dots. Might even go to the yellow dots just for a little more energy, but really what it really needs is going to need to be a flipper rebuild. So we're going to get that done. He had talked about an issue where actually up here when you start the game, it should have just 5 balls. This game you can start it out with having either 3, 5, or 8. There's a setting in the back box for that. It's already set for 5 balls, but what it'll do is it will come up for 5, but it will also come up for 10, and it hangs out at 10. And even though you actually play through the game, it will go from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, and the game will end. But 10 is always lit up, so there's something weird going on there. Probably something to do with the ball and play unit in the back. We'll take a look and see what we got with that. The other thing is once you get down to the very last ball and you drain that, and the game's over, the game is over, but it will still kick a ball over into the shooter lane. So we got to figure out why is it doing that. It might even have something to do with that ball unit. I don't know yet. The owner also said there was a little something about sometimes it'll just start racking up points, kind of like I don't know, it's just unexpectedly. So more than likely, there's a switch that's getting stuck, or there's something um, again that shouldn't be happening that we'll just have to kind of explore and find. And he's also seen there's some times when he'll hear something humming and has seen some sign of smoke. I don't know where the smoke's coming from or which relay, what we're talking about humming, but I damn thinking that this has got to be something where a switch is getting stuck and it's keeping the solenoid energized. When it needs to be just momentarily energized, it's getting stuck on. So should be easy to find, I would think, if it's really getting locked on and burning it up some. But I have not really torn into this game yet. We're just going to take a fresh start. In fact, the other thing he wants to do is we're going to have to replace the locks because we don't know where the keys are. We managed to get the panel on the back off and did manage to get the door open there momentarily, sticking a clothespin, or not clothespin, but just a wire up inside the lock and kind of got it to open up. And of course, once I've got it back here, I've closed the door and turned it, and it's locked itself in. So we're going to get that lock out, and we've got new locks we're going to put in. But uh, again, there's going to be some other little minor things we'll go over. We may even end up just put some fresh rubber bands on it. Probably go to the silicone bands. Is probably what we'll do. Maybe some other little things, but hang tight. Let's get started. We got a number of things to go through, and it should be a fun project. So here we go. All right, so we've got this lock here. This is the first thing we need to go take care of. And of course, like I said before, the key is gone. We can't get into this thing. Well, we can if we take a paper clip and kind of fight with it, but you got to take the universal key and see what you can do about getting rid of this and getting it out. We're going to replace this. So here's what we do. Come on. All right, look at that. Magic key. Anyways, so this guy's coming out and we're going to throw a new one in. All right, so next we've got to take the screw off. That's easy peasy. And now let's get this nut off. I think it's a 7/8. Yeah, that's right. 7/8. Let's go ahead and loosen this thing up. Get him out of here. And once we get this out, the next thing we're going to want to do is just double check the size of this. These whole little locks, the ones that I've seen, they come in a 5/8, a 7/8, and it's not a 9/8, it's 1 1/8. But you're basically going to measure, from here to the end, and just line up with the right size lock and put a new one in. Pretty easy. All right, so looking at the old one here, and here's a new one that I've got. And kind of line these up, and I do believe that this is actually a 7/8. So this is a little bit different as far as like the little piece that was on the back is kind of square, and this one's going to have a different little profile. It doesn't matter. All that it matters is that you mount this thing in here, and that this actually will turn to close the door correctly. So let's go ahead and take this apart, throw that in, put the nutter on this, and then we'll be good to go. Just going to throw this in here. See how it's kind of got little flats here, so it will hold it in place. Which all I got to do is now just roll this nut on, tighten that thing down, and then we'll put the little arm that will latch it on. If I could get this thing to thread on, well, that would be nice. Woohoo! There we go. All right, so we've got the arm screwed on here and everything put in place. So you close this, and let's kind of show this over here. Go ahead and turn it, and there it is. It's locked. But there's a little bit of a slop here. We don't like that. But one thing that I noticed, if you look real close, see the foam that's all through here? This is all old and crusty. We're going to replace this. I've got to place an order with Pinball Resource to get a few things. And they actually have the right stuff. You can pick up like weather stripping, and that works fine. But they got some stuff that's just a lot better. It's kind of rubberized, and I really like using it. So I'm out of what I normally have. So I'm going to throw it in on the next order. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and replace that once that comes in. That will actually take up some of the gap that's actually here. It'll probably space it out just a little bit. And whatever's left, we do just a tiny little adjustment on the little arm here. Kind of bend that in just a little bit. Not a big deal. So anyways, we can go ahead and move ahead with, now that we got this door working right, we can jump inside the cabinet and start taking a look at things. So now that we got the game actually operating, let's grab the ball. Oh, go. We got a game actually started. I pulled this ball actually already out, but we should be able to go through and hit all the switches and just kind of see how the game responds, see if everything's responding correctly, or if there's anything to take note that's not quite right. So here's just kind of go through it. So there's a king, queen, jack. Let's see here. It's the 8. We have over here. There's a 7. There's a 9. 10. 3. 2. 6. Here's the ace. All right. Hey, notice that when I hit the ace, we now have win lit, which will give us the wow, which is kind of like a special. But let's just kind of keep going through everything here. Let's see, we still got the 4 and the 5. Where we got the 4 and the 5. All right, now we got all 3 of those lit. So win lit. Right. That's not really, I'm hearing something clicking, but not really doing much. Even on the, I don't know if you can see the score or not. Okay, that worked. Okay, that worked. That's good. So it feels like something, it should be getting us 500 points, and it's not. I'm hearing something click, so maybe the relay that gives us 500 points might have something to do with that, but we'll have to kind of keep that in mind. Slings seem to be pretty active. That's good. All right, so far not really too bad, other than like this. Yeah, that 5,000 points here. That one's not giving us anything. The 500 is not really giving us. It's giving a click, but it's not delivering. So that's a sign of something. Don't know what it is, but it's something. Let's see what about the 1,000. Yeah, that one's actually working. And it gives us 100 points, and that's what it's supposed to be. So yeah, something's not quite right. Also, when you drain the ball, this was the other issue. Yeah, what's it doing? Oh, probably because we haven't even scored a point. All right. Okay, so 4, 3, got 2 balls in play, 1. All right, so this should be the last ball, right? You drain it, and the game should be over. And why did it shoot a ball over here in the shooter lane? So we got to figure that out. That shouldn't be happening. All right, folks, now comes the fun part. We just start troubleshooting. Let's keep going. All right, so this is the ball unit that's in the back box, and this is what I wanted to look at with that ball number 10, and I will show you that right now. Just go ahead and start again. Notice that I've already got number 10 fixed. Well, kind of. Trying to dig around, figure out what's going on with that. So as this whole ball unit changes, let's see, I just did that a couple times, so that just brought the numbers down. And you can kind of see a little bit. Well, it's hard to really, but as I advance this all the way up, let's see, where are we at right now? On the 8. Go a couple more ticks. 1, 2. All right, so this position right here at the very bottom, this right here, that contact, which is tied to this orangish wire, is what's responsible to actually light up the 10 digit. And I was kind of playing around. If we, let's go ahead and, decrement it back down. So now we are on the actual 9th position. Let's go look here just to verify it. Yep, there was a 9. And notice the 10 went out because, getting to the punchline here, why was that happening? Well, I got looking here in this whole bunch of wires, and up here real close, I can actually release this and lay it down to show it. Right through here, look real close. This has got these old cloth wires, and look at that, it was rubbing in on there, and you can see it. It was shorting out against the metal here, and that's what was causing that to light up. But what it hasn't done, even with, I haven't fixed that yet, but at least found where the problem is. Even if I go ahead and drain the ball, get it all the way back down. Well, let's just kind of slowly do this. Get it all the way back down to the game over, or the 0 number, and it should not, throw a ball back anymore. Here we are on ball 2, and got one more ball. It should be the end of the game. Oh, that time it did work. That might have actually been been related to it, because what was happening earlier is that it was still doing it, but I had not pulled that wire away, and now I've just kind of cleared it. That could actually be it, but the jury's out. We have to keep playing around with it. But it's stuff like this that you just have to kind of keep looking for to discover what could be causing the problem. So we're going to keep moving ahead. All right, just trying this again. I thought I was lucky. So here we are. We're on ball 2. Let's go ahead and drain this. And now we're down to ball 1. So it should be, what should be was when you drain this, game's over and it should not kick out a ball. But watch what happens here. And it's still doing it. So no, we got to keep digging into it. But folks, this is just kind of an initial start. You can see what kind of troubleshooting we're going after here. So hang tight with me. We're going to see you guys on the next episode, and we'll see where we go. Thanks for watching.